Just a quick one from my end. So one of the things we've struggled with ever since we moved to NCE is the prorations of how do I deal with prorations when all these contract dates are all over the place. And then some of these you have to consider the free days and all that kind of fun stuff for NCE billing. So what I did is just a Pax8 API request on the invoices endpoint to grab the invoices. We go through the items on each one and then parse it out by company. And then from there, I take each one of the company's prorations for that month, do a sum on the Microsoft 365 items on that list, and then send it over to a sub workflow, which then updates the Autotask contract. So we check if it's the internal client and then skip the getting the PSA company ID, create a note template. We find the correct SaaS contract to associate the item with. We then go to, we get the services and make sure it exists. And then we exit with failure if there's a problem or add a contract note. The problem we had with our Autotask sync when it comes to it was the way our contracts are set up. Unfortunately, this is an internal issue that we just never resolved and made it easier on billing, was that when Pax8 does the sync, all of our contract dates are set to 12/1 for any SaaS billing. So we may have a business premium license that expires, the contract runs on the 23rd, but then we have a Exchange Online Plan 2 that expires on the 1st. So in order to maintain that without having to, because somebody provisioned a contract to start on the 31st and we are month to month on everything, I ended up with this workflow. So what it does is it will come through and add the contract note to say that on in November on the 23rd, quantity changed from 2 to 1 for a difference of -1 for a 7-day change, including the 1 free day of $1.68. So when I rely on Autotask to do these prorations, it's all based on the contract date of the first of the month, which doesn't always line up with the Office 365 or the Office 365 contract date. It's probably saved. I know it's, I'm sorry. And the other weird thing about our billing is we do it all based on services. So there is a service in the contract to, instead of just a charge there. But I know it's a pretty unique situation just because of the way we set up contracts initially, but it's probably saved us a good hour or so about hours per client per month. So there is an issue right now where it only pulls in the whole dollar amount with which there's an open ticket for, but then we can reconcile against the notes to see what that amount should actually be on the other side.